Alright, so here's the Trail125. Let's get back from a ride. Let's see, let's look at the mileage real fast. It's clear. Let's see, I went on a 77.6 miles. My gas just went down to half a tank. Let's see what mileage am I at right now. Oops. So I'm at 342 miles total. Alright, so 77.6 miles, half a tank. That's pretty good. So if I double that, that's like 150 miles basically on the tank. It was a pretty easy ride. Started off on pavement, rolling hills, and I took it on the dirt for about 20 miles or so. I think about 20 miles of dirt riding. So I think I mentioned this before in a previous video, but the gearing on this bike is, it feels a little bit short for street, but now that I've ridden on the dirt, it feels a little bit tall for dirt. So that sounds about right for dual sport. That's how dual sports usually are. It's kind of like you're stuck in between the two, and that's what I felt like. But for the most part, it felt all right. Suspension wise, on the street it's okay. The spring rate's good for my weight. I'm light. I'm 135 pounds, but naked with gear on, I'm probably just under 160 pounds, probably 155 pounds. So I'm a lightweight, so it's just the swing rates, and this is without any load on it, no stuff on the rack. So I'm pretty lightweight, and the swing rate feels just about right on the street, and also the dampening feels just about right too on the street. But on the dirt, it didn't. On the dirt, the spring is probably a little bit on the soft side for dirt, and the dampening was like, it felt like it didn't have enough dampening for dirt as well. So this thing could definitely, I would say, definitely use firmer springs and more dampening for dirt. I didn't do off-road. I just went I went on a dirt road, basically like a service road, or a fire road. Some sections were smoother, some sections were rougher, but yeah, it for the most part it handled surprisingly well. It actually I've ridden that same road back when I had my CRF 250L, and I felt like this bike did better than the CRF 250L. But then again, when I had the CRF, I rode that same road at a faster pace. This bike, 15 miles an hour is fine for that dirt road, even 20 mile hours, but any more than 20 is too much. The suspension can't handle it. So 15, 20 at the most. But when I was going 25, man, it was rough going. I was bouncing all over the place and didn't have, basically didn't have complete control at 25 on the rougher sections of the dirt road. But on those rougher sections, 15 did fine. Even 20 was somewhat okay too. On the smoother sections, 25, 30 was fine on the smooth sections, but yeah, but for the most part, it handled surprisingly well. Very lightweight. It was like, I haven't ridden dirt in a few years now, and there was some sections where I was like, man, if I had like an actual real dirt bike or something that was taller, I would have dropped the bike just because I was a little bit off balance here and there, and because the bike is so low, and so light, that I was able to catch the bike and not fall over. I'm not saying crash, but I'm saying just like fall over my side, on the side, because I was like stopped in a precarious place or whatever. But anyways, so that's that. Power wise, it feels okay. You always want more power, right? So you can't really complain too much about a 125. The tires were surprisingly pretty good for what the road I was doing. It's a dirt road again. It's hard packed. A couple of stew sections here and there, but for the most part, it's a hard packed. Some gravel here and there. some sections of, instead of just hard packed dirt, it's like gravelly dirt. So the tires were, definitely surprisingly did all right for that dirt road. But if I did more dirt, I would definitely want it to be, instead of these tires being 90. No, I would say these tires are like 90 street, 10 dirt. I would rather probably have like some 70 30, 70 street, 30 dirt tires. That would probably be better. Actually, I do kind of have some. I just ordered one of these. I just ordered one. I actually have a couple of other on order as well because I want to try them out and see how they feel. But that's gonna be a while before I put any other tires on here, because I don't want to waste the tires. I want to make sure I get my money's worth out of the tires. So that I'm guessing the back tire will probably last me 3,500 miles. So I'll be there sometime next summer. I think by next summer. Let's see, how else does this bike do? There were some points where I felt the clutch slipped, having clutch slippage, and basically I was in too tall of a gear, so I had to downshift to a lower gear. So in the taller gear, it definitely the clutch would slip. Felt that several times. Where I was giving it gas and you hear the engine rev up, but I wasn't moving anywhere. So I was like, oh, the clutch is slipping. Got a downshift. So let's see. So the tires are definitely dirty. You can see the dirt on the tires. The rest of the bike, for the most part, looks pretty clean. I guess the bottom half of the bike is still dusty. The top half still looks pretty clean. Clean enough. So this is a good bike. I like it. I've been thinking about on my ride. I was actually thinking about all the different places I want to take this to, and just last night I actually saw a video on the Pony Express trail. I was like, oh, I want to take this on the Pony Express trail. So the Pony Express trail is I think around 2,000 miles from. It starts in Missouri, I believe, and it ends in and it's supposedly, officially it goes all the way to San Francisco, but obviously by certain places that trail is not really there anymore, and a lot of it's actually is private property. So I had to do some research into that, what sections you could ride and what sections you can, and so on and so forth. But I definitely I see that taking this bike on that Pony Express trail, that'd be cool. I'm thinking, next time I go up to Alaska, this is it. This bike is it. I might do that hopefully in the next, once all this lockdown bullshit is over with. I definitely want to hit up Alaska again with this bike, for sure. And going down to South America and such, it's gonna be on this bike. I think it would be better. I was also thinking about a CRF 250L or the not the 250. I mean the 300. Once Honda brings it over to US, the CRF 300L or the 300 Rally, potentially one of those. But it's still bigger, heavier. It's gonna be like, I don't know, at least 75 pounds heavier than this bike is. This bike is 260. I think the CRF L model is 320. I'm gonna say around 320 or so, maybe 330. Then the Rally model is 300 Rally model. I think it's about 350 or so. So so at least 75, somewhere between 75, as much as maybe even 100 pounds more, or just under 100 pounds more. But again, that thing's not as practical as this is. This thing's a big old rack. I mean, you could put a rack on that CRF, but I think this is better, lighter. You just need, I'm gonna upgrade this. I think I'm gonna upgrade the suspension so that way it's a little bit firmer and hopefully better dampening. Do that. I'm probably gonna leave the gearing the same because it's okay for road. It's a little bit on the slow side for road, but it's okay. And I'm not doing any serious dirt riding, so I should be fine with the gearing. So just I would just do suspension and possibly better a little bit more dirt oriented tires instead of a 90-10 dual sport tire. I'll probably do like a 70-30 or 80-20 or something like that. And I'm gonna add another rack right here, and I'm gonna do something about the handlebar section. Maybe do a crossbar where I could like add some mount something to mount so that we're gonna strap more stuff here. Potentially I've seen racks up front right here, but I'm not sure about that though. I'm not sure if that would work or not. So I might do that as well for traveling. But yeah, so that's my plan for this bike, and so far I'm really liking it. No, the other thing I was thinking about this. The other thing I was thinking about this is, because today it's kind of a cold day. I got chilled. I was like, oh, I wonder if I could put some type of a windscreen leg shield on here, and I think you can because of the engine guard bars here. I'm gonna put some type of a plastic, basically a big plastic sheet that would go wrap, and it would wrap all the way up over to where the it'll follow this line right here, because I'm not strapped to this. It's gonna wrap all the way straight up right here like so, across the front right here, and it's probably gonna be somewhere about mid mirror height. So the mirror is right, so probably as high as about right here or so. I don't want it to be any higher than that, because otherwise it would be too noisy on your helmet. But that's just enough to keep the wind off my chest. All right, it's probably gonna follow that line up like so, up about right here, come across and back down the other side. It's probably gonna be, for the most part, one piece, and I'm just gonna basically, at least down here anyways, I'm probably gonna zip tie it down right here. Up here, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I'll fix something out, something quick and easy and cheap, where it'll deflect the wind enough to keep me a little bit warmer, and that if I crash or whatever, it doesn't matter, it's cheap. So yeah, so I was thinking about that as well. Yeah, so this is a fun bike. All right, thanks for watching.